This is the Toddlers service for St Mary's Church in Jersey and the Channel Islands, and it's the service for Thursday morning, the 13th of August. And we would be in church, but the last few weeks we've been here in my kitchen, so that's where the service is going to be from today. And we'll be singing action songs that you can join in with, and there'll be a story on the flannel graph here, and there'll be some prayers. So we're going to start with an action song, If I Go Climbing. There's all sorts of actions. We start off with climbing, we swim, we drive our cars. So you can join in the actions as it gets going. What else do we do? We swim, climb, drive. Oh, we row a boat as well. Can we go rowing if I go rowing? And then swimming, you can either swim like that, or you can swim with the crawl, whichever one you would normally do. And right at the end we go to sea. So here we go. Let's go climbing. We're going to go climbing. If I go climbing, 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 if I go climbing, God is there. If I go climbing on the highest mountain, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere. We're going to go rowing in our boats. In the boat, rowing. If I go rowing, 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 if I go rowing, God is there. If I go rowing on the widest river, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere. God is there, 'cause He is everywhere. Let's go swimming. I'm going to swim now. I'm going to do the crawling this time. Crawl. If I go swimming, 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 if I go swimming, God is there. If I go swim to the bottom of the ocean, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere. Here we are, driving the car, seatbelt, steering wheel. If I go driving, 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 if I go driving, God is there. If I go driving far away, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere. Now we're going to fly. Flying in an aeroplane. If I go flying, 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 if I go flying, God is there. If I go flying in the biggest airplane, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere. Now we're going to sleep. Fast asleep. If I go sleeping, 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 if I go sleeping, God is there. If I go sleeping on the darkest night, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere. Now I'm going to sing a little rhyme about two little eyes. You can join in this one if you like. Two little eyes to look to God, two little ears to hear His word, two little feet to walk in His ways, two little lips to sing His praise, two little hands to do His will, and one little heart to love Him still. Now there's another song about Jesus is my best friend. We've got actions for this one. Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is my best friend, He's always there for me. Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is my best friend, He's always there for me. On Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, Jesus is my best friend. He's always there for me. He's He's always there for me. He's always there for me. Yes. Then before the Dinosaur Song, I'm going to sing the song about Mr. Noah. And I'm going to sing this one. Remember, at the end, we talk about a rainbow in the sky. Okay? Mr. Noah built an ark. The people thought it such a lark. Mr. Noah pleaded so, but into the ark they would not go. Down came the rain in torrents, splish, splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish, splash. Down came the rain in torrents, and all the 8 were saved. The animals went in 2 by 2, the big giraffe and the kangaroo. All were safely stowed away until that great and terrible day, when down came the rain in torrents, splish, splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish, splash. Down came the rain in torrents, and all the 8 were saved. So whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, remember God is love. Now we're going to have the Dinosaur Song, and I'm going to stand up for this one. There'll be lots of stomping and lots of roaring, just like dinosaurs. So have a practice. We'll stomp and we'll roar, 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 roar. Roar, 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 roar. And right at the end, we hear the dinosaur go off into the distance. I like that bit. So we're going to roar, roar, roar. We're going to stomp with our feet. Stomp, 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 stomp. I think that's not the right one. I like the Dinosaur Song. There's lots of different dinosaurs. My grandson knows all the ones, all about the dinosaurs. So it's the Dinosaur Song. I think it starts off. Oh, we're going to roar. Roar, roar. Stomping. Many, many years ago, walking on the earth, some massive animals with teeth and claws and fur. Away, how did it go? Is that God who made them is alive, greater than them all? God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. God is older than a dinosaur, more mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. Stomping and roaring. Stomp, stomp. Tyrannosaurus Rex, king above the rest. And how did Stegosaurus bark or the larvae just lay eggs? Only God could know it all, but made radical is that he could bring them back to life. Now wouldn't that be cool? God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. God is older than a dinosaur. God is older than a dinosaur, mighty than a dinosaur, awesome than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. The fossil is not extinct, it's with us here and now. Forever he'll be alive, let's roar his praises now. Roar, roar, roar. Bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. God is older than a dinosaur, mighty than a dinosaur, awesome than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. Stomping and roaring. Roar, roar, roar. And then the dinosaurs go off. I'm going to get down again. I've got some, perhaps we'll have the wiggle song next. I'll do that down here. There's a lot of wiggling, and then it tells us to freeze, and we keep very still. You can do this standing up, can't you? You can wriggle, wriggle, wriggle where you are, and then freeze, and then the music starts off again, and we wriggle, 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 wriggle again. So the idea is we get rid of lots of energy before the story. We are wriggling. Wriggle, 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 freeze. Wriggle, 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 freeze. I gotta get the wriggles out of me. Wriggling, get the wriggles out of me. I'm gonna shake my hands, I'm gonna shake my feet, I'm gonna shake my head, I'm gonna groove to the beat, because I got to get the wriggles out of me. I got to get the wriggles out of me. Wriggle, 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 freeze. Wriggle, 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 freeze. Wriggle, 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 freeze. I got to get the wriggles out of me. Wriggle, wriggle. Skiddly scat, skiddly doo. I gotta get the wriggles out of me, 'cause I'm gonna hear a story. I'm gonna hear a story. It's gonna be fun. Hear about Jesus is for everyone. And I got to get the wriggles out of me. Wriggle, 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 freeze. Wriggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get the wriggles out of me. I gotta get the wriggles out of me. I said I gotta get the wriggles out of me. Wriggles out of me. I gotta get the wriggles out of me. Yes. Now we're going to have some prayer books that I'm going to read. If we're in church, the children would choose the prayers and give it to their grown-ups, their carers, grannies and grandpas or mummies. But I've chosen the prayers today. And here's one about animals that I might find in my garden. Bugs and other creatures. I like bugs, I like insects. So it's, dear God, some of my very favourite things are the bugs you put in my garden. I like the caterpillar with his furry walk. He becomes a butterfly. I like the snail. His little shell home leaves a shiny trail. I like the tadpoles that swim in the pond and grow into frogs that jump. I like the spider that spins a web and catches all the flies. And I like the ladybird with her bright red wings and spots as black as the night. Thank you, dear God, for all the lovely animals and bugs that you put in my garden. We say a special amen. Amen. And here's another one about a tree. I've got some trees in my garden. My grandsons like to try and climb the trees. The trees grow down into the earth, right down, a long way to go. And the trees grow up into the sky, right up where the strong winds blow. The trees, they sway in the wind, and they whisper a little song. We thank you, God, for keeping us safe, that we might grow tall and strong. And we grow tall and strong as well, just like the trees, don't we? Amen. And now, before the story time, I usually say a little rhyme to remind us that we're going to hear a story that's from the Bible, because it talks about opening God's book. Now is the time to listen. Now is the time to see. Let's open God's book to hear what He has to tell me. And God's book is the Bible, and the stories I tell are all from the Bible. And this is one that one of Jesus' friends wrote down after he had died about something that Jesus did, something very special to help people. I'm going to use this board. But Jesus had been invited to a wedding. He'd been invited to a special meal after the wedding. And everybody was sitting down. Here's one man. Jesus' mother Mary, she was invited too. Look, there she is. And here's Jesus sitting at the end of the table. There's the table. Sitting at the table. And Jesus' friends, his disciples, had been invited as well. Look, there's some other people. Maybe that's one of the disciples, that man there. I think that might be a lady, and that's another lady. There was all sorts of nice things to eat and drink. Look, there's a wine glass. They had nice things to eat, nice things to drink. And there was a special man who was called the Master of Ceremonies, and he was in charge of the feast. But it was the bridegroom who really paid. I think he must have been at another table, the bride and her husband, the groom, and perhaps their mums and dads, all at this special wedding. Well, Mary, Jesus' mother, overheard some of the servants. They were saying, the wine has run out. We've run out of wine. There's no more to give people to drink. Oh dear, thought Mary, this isn't very good. So she told Jesus. And then she said to the servant, you must do just what Jesus tells you. So the servant thought, gosh, I better just listen to Jesus, haven't I? And Jesus said to him, go out into the kitchens, the rooms at the back, and those big, big jars that hold water, fill them right to the top with water. So the servant did that, and then Jesus said, and then you must dip a cup or a glass into that wine and pour it out and take it to the master of the feast. So the servant went back and he told the other servants, everybody was preparing the food at the back. Look, there's one of the big wine jars. There's another one. And there's another one. And the servant went and he dipped a glass into the big wine jars. And then he did just as Jesus had told him. He took the wine to the master of the ceremonies, the man who was in charge of the feast. He took him a glass of the wine and put it in front of him, there on the table. And the master of ceremonies took a sip and he said, this is very good wine. And then he called out to the bridegroom and he said, most people at weddings, they serve the best wine first. And then when people have had a bit to drink and they're happy, and they bring out the wine that isn't quite so good. But you've brought the very best wine, the one that I've just tasted, you saved it till last. Now Jesus knew that the wine had come out of the water jars and the servants did, but nobody else did. So that way Jesus helped everybody at that feast to have a very happy time. Otherwise it wouldn't have been very good if they'd run out. But Jesus helped them, and that was one of the first things he did as a miracle, to make everybody happy at the feast, at the wedding party. So that's a nice story, isn't it? Jesus liked helping people. Right, we've got a song to sing at the end. What noise shall we make? And you can shake or rattle things if you've got something that you can make a noise with. I've got this bottle with some writing. I'm going to rattle along for this one. Maybe you've got a saucepan or something you can bang with a wooden spoon. Make lots of noise. This week's service. There'll be another one next week with a different story, but probably the same songs, because we like singing the same songs. Bye bye.